Hello, hello, everybody. Happy weekend. Thank you for joining me in today's video. I promise we will get started painting shortly. I just wanted to let you know that I finally finished my calendars. I have these two desktop calendars, and then I have a third option, which is a wall calendar that is bigger and has 12 completely different artworks on it. I just couldn't decide which way I wanted to go, and so I made 3 different options. This one, if you may recall, if you've been on my channel for a while, is the more contemporary style that I did in the beginning of the year that I really enjoyed doing. And so I made 12 different designs and put them in the calendar. The second option has the more intuitive painting style with doodles that I did in 2023 and 2024. And it was really hard to pick 12. And so I just picked the ones that people responded to the most on YouTube, and hopefully 1 or 2 or 3 of your favorites are in this set. Each of these calendars comes with its own stand. We make these at home with reclaimed wood, and then I paint them white. They're a very low profile, and all of the 13 cards neatly fit into it. They also come with 6 day markers so that when you flip it to a new month, you can coordinate the colors with the painting that you have for that month, and a low profile magnet will hold it in place. These were so much fun to make, and I hope it brings somebody else joy as well. There are different things that I put on my Etsy shop. Some of it is alcohol ink, magnets and push pins and things like that. But I also have my watercolor pendants that I made on there as well. These were such a hit at the market. People really responded well to them and were interested in them. And if you don't know what they are, I cut down some of my unused watercolor backgrounds and then embellished them a little bit more with doodles and my dots. I really like how these turned out, and each one is just like its own little painting. I then made bales and glued them on the back. If you want to know how I made these, I have a video on my channel that you can go and watch. And when I did these, I really enjoyed it so much that I decided to make little pins or brooches out of it as well. So I have 2 different styles of that. One is round and the other one is a square. And those you can either put on your canvas bag, on your backpack, or on your scarf, or on your jacket. They're really lightweight and they're just so much fun to accessorize. So those are going to be in my shop as well. And I have so many different styles. These are just a few, but I wanted you to know, in case you're still looking for a Christmas present or something special for someone or for yourself, I wanted to make sure that these will be available for the holiday season. Now, one thing I will say is, if you see a style or a design that you like, don't wait to buy it, because these are one of a kind. The desktop calendars I can replenish. I make them in-house. It's really easy done, but the pendants and the brooches, they're one of a kind. Once they are gone, that style is gone. They might look a little bit similar because I use the same watercolor background, but each one is its own little artwork. So I cannot replicate that. So I'm just saying it so that if you are unsure, just buy it. They're not going to be that expensive. And that way you can ensure that it is yours. If you want to see exactly what I have available, just go on my Etsy. I have it linked in the description box below this video. That will take you there. You can look at everything. Don't feel obligated to buy anything, but it's there for you if you want it or if you want to gift somebody else with any of the items that I have in the shop. Thank you so much for indulging me. And so now let's continue with the painting video. Last time I left off, we were playing in this little sketchbook by Artix, which I really enjoyed. So if you haven't watched this video yet and you're curious about it, unfortunately the sale is now over. I was flipping through it again and I remembered how I loved the color combination of these colors. So I want to recreate the colors, not necessarily the style, because we've already been there. A loose watercolor paper, and this is my Hahnemühle watercolor paper that I love using. And I brought my colors out. And if I am remembering correctly, I used the Moonglow, the Undersea Green, Quinacridone Pink, Quinacridone Purple, and the Sap Green, which I have in stick form. I don't know exactly what the style is going to be. Like I said, I'm going to be super gentle with myself and just see what I can come up with. But yeah, those colors I really liked. So I want to recreate that. Not sure if I'm going to bring the gold in, but we are going to attempt a fun watercolor background that I can then use to create something different with it. I like the Quin Pink because it is light fast and it reminds me of the Opera Pink, which is not. The Moonglow plays really well with the greens, and that's where I got that lovely granulation. So I want to do that, and then I will add the sap green last. I hope my American viewers had a lovely Thanksgiving. Mine was filled with cooking and spending time with family, which I needed. I'm just adding some water around the edges here. Last year we visited family, but this year we stayed put. And that was fine by me. I hope you didn't get caught in some snowstorms or holiday travels. That is never a fun thing to experience. But see what I mean? Look, it's already happening. I just love that moon glow with the greens. So that's what I am going for. And I think I am going to leave it. I don't want to mix it too much. I might add a little bit more of that moon glow in here. It's a little watery, so I'm going to add a little bit more undiluted or less diluted moon glow. It almost makes it look mossy. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just beautiful. And that green, the sap green, also helps brighten everything up, just like that pink, which I like. All right, I think I can work with that. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I will come back and we can check it out and see how it developed. And then we can go from there. I have no idea where it's going, guys. But hopefully something will come of it that is worth watching. How about that? So I will come back once this is dry and then we can continue. That first layer dried really nicely. And now I'm trying to figure out how to proceed. I kind of want to do something like this. Something a little bit abstract. I am drawn to the circle shape. And I'm seeing like a half circle here that I could work with. And also, where did it go now? Maybe this one here. So I'm gonna ponder this for a second and then I will get back and start with the second layer. I think I am going to start with this one because that one is attracting my attention the most. And I'm gonna start, maybe I should just start with some water actually. Something like this. And then we're gonna let it feather out into the nothingness over here. Maybe I can add a little bit of that moon glow in. Okay, while I have the moon glow on my brush, maybe we'll go over here. Oh, I like that. Should I do that here? Let's try that. I like that it's feathered out a little bit. I think I want to put some more of that undersea green in it. I really just enjoy how these two play with each other. Now that I have the undersea green on my brush, we can go over here. Oh, water. I like how that interacts when I place the water down first. We'll let that disappear into the nothingness that is my painting. I'm gonna drop some of that sap green in here because I really like the green over here and I think it needs a little bit more of that bright green, and I might just give this one a little bit of a lighter halo. Should I put some? I already did. That might be a mistake. But we won't know unless we try. The direction might change or it might stay. Now, if only I would keep my mittens out of the wet paint. That would be great. I know it's not very Christmassy. I just really wanted to play with these colors one more time. And so, I don't know, maybe something Christmassy will show up next week. But hey, I can't force it. If it doesn't come to me naturally, then there's no point in forcing it. I've learned that much about myself. I just want to let this trail into here a little bit without necessarily disturbing. This is still wet over here. I don't want this to dry where you can see that these two were not connected. I kind of want them to dry like they're just melting into each other. And I think I may have just achieved that, actually. This paper towel is a little bit damp, and so it might just give enough moisture to where the paper will be damp enough to soak up that color but not overpower the other colors. Maybe we'll try and connect these. Ooh, treading in dangerous waters over here. All right, so this one is just kind of going over this way. I like how this connects, but it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Maybe we can do something like that over here, because this one's just kind of flailing, not knowing where it's going. But I have to be careful as to not make this too much of a muddy mess. All right, so again, it almost looks like dragon scales where the colors have granulated. Now, I'm being very, very careful. I don't want these two to connect. And I also don't want these two to connect. And at the same time, I don't want there to be a line. So, let me see if I can manage to ooh, that works. Damp paper towel. These two are playing well. Now I feel like I need to let this part trail a little bit more as well. I just want to give it a hint of that half circle. Is it going anywhere? We don't know. Okay. No harsh lines, no harsh lines. Do you see it yet? You do? Wow, you're 10 steps ahead of me. I'm not seeing anything yet, but I do enjoy what happened. Ooh, now, I don't know if that's visible in the camera, but I can definitely see this one connecting. I think that damp towel technique actually works really well. Who would have thought? Do you see this beautiful mixture? And then do you also see this beautiful mixture? I think this one needs a little bit more green. I almost feel like, can we try and dab some of that off and then add some more green into it because I really like that green in here. So mossy. All right. Now we let it dry again. This area screams of a pathway, so I'm going to put some cobblestones down. I went from talking your ear off to saying absolutely nothing once I started doodling, and there is a few things that I would like to mention. One is, you may wonder why I pay so much attention during the painting process and taking such care about the minusculest little details, and only to then cover it up with doodles and other things. Part of that is because I don't know where I'm going while I'm painting. I have no idea what's coming next, and so to have it there and just to play around with the colors and see what they do is not only fun, but it kind of, sets me up for what's coming next, regardless of what that is. It is also really good practice for me to just be a little bit more careful and a little bit more deliberate, because that first layer, I don't really care so much what happens. And then once I put the second layer on top, I can be a little bit more precise. Do I know where everything is going to be placed later on? No. And that's the beauty of these intuitive art pieces. I just let my thoughts wander. I look at things and I see something, or I don't, and then I make something up. And that is what draws me to this style. So I just wanted to mention that, because somebody might think, why is she spending so much time placing color dots here and not trying to make things mix too much or merge too much, when she then just covers it up anyway. It's because I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't know where the painting is going. So that is, one of the reasons why I do it. Another thing I want to mention is those colored pens that I'm using. I will not be listing in the description box below. They are not waterproof, and I don't want people to buy them and then think, I was using something waterproof or light fast, when in fact it isn't. So I will be looking for maybe some micron pens, because I know those are archival and waterproof. I had those pens lying around, and I just wanted something that has color to bring in, just to see what it looks like. And I actually really like it, and I will be buying something that has a little bit of color that I can bring in. Those are not them. And in fact, if you look in the top half where that top circle is, there's a little bit of bleeding, and that is exactly why I don't want to advertise those pens, because it's just not conducive maybe to people who need their pens to be waterproof. I hope this video had some interesting things for you to learn or take away from, and it wasn't too chatty for you. Sometimes I get like that. I can't help it. I left some of the parts in because I felt like it was part of my thought process, and a lot of you like to hear that. But if you don't, I hope you just turned me off and listen to your own music or whatever you want to do in order to get through this video. Alright, my friends, everything except for these pens will be listed in the description box below the video, along with my Etsy shop if you want to go have a look. I will definitely see you next week. I might have another video during the week. I'm really trying to make up for lost times. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay creative wherever you are in the world, and I will see you very, very soon.